Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm from Sarah Hurst Skin Clinic in Brighton, and I've come on today to actually share with you a little bit of knowledge about my favourite subject, which is actually about gut health.
Gut health is actually the beginning of everything. It's about how everything functions on the inside, and if that's not functioning properly, then it's actually going to show on the externals on our skin in poor skin quality. So this is why it's really important to actually look at it. There's lots of things, obviously, that it can show in the skin. So it'd be things like dull skin, dehydrated skin, you could get puffiness around the eyes, we could get acne, all those sorts of types of skin conditions where it just doesn't look healthy, often can be from poor gut health. Other typical symptoms are obviously, the ones that we obviously often associate with poor gut health, which will be things like gas, bloating, all the constipation, diarrhea, all those sorts of typical things where we just know that our gut isn't functioning properly. What we think, I think, when we think about our gut, we often just think about our gut, our stomach itself, but it's not. It's all the relative organs around it, like the intestines and the kidneys and the liver. All those incorporate into our whole sort of digestive system. So there's lots of things to think about. And we've got other factors, we've got things, obviously dietary factors, and I'll talk about those in a minute. But obviously stress is a big part of this as well, because stress actually increases our cortisol, it gets everything going much, much faster. It causes inflammation in the actual intestine itself as well. And also it can cause a sluggish lymphatic system. And get my words out. The lymphatic system contains all our toxins and things, so it's really important that actually this is really draining really efficiently. Also the lymph itself, some of the lymph can obviously just sit quite below the surface of the skin. So again, this will actually show in our skin as the toxins because it's just underneath. So it's really important that we drain everything out. We could get puffiness of the skin, all sorts of things like that. So this is why it's such a big topic. So what can we do? Well, obviously diet's a really, really good starting point, and I'm not claiming here to be any sort of nutritionist. So if you really want very specific and you feel that your gut's not functioning at its real optimum level, then it may be worth you considering going to see an actual nutritionist itself. But I can offer you some simple advice just to get you going. So first of all, I would look at any food intolerances. If you really feel your gut's not functioning properly, then often there can be food intolerances, and it could be worth doing a test. And there are several out there that you can do. But it was really interesting when I did mine, because I was actually drinking like lots and lots of rooibos tea. That was my main drink of choice. So when I did the test, I found that was actually my main intolerance, and I was having lots of problems. In the morning in particular, where I just found that I had to go to the toilet a lot, I just felt bloated, just felt gassy, and all those types of not very sexy symptoms, put it that way, and obviously I wanted things to be functioning a little bit better. So I found that I was intolerant to rooibos tea. I also found that I was intolerant to yeast. I found a lesser intolerant to wheat, but I was still intolerant. And some of the wine grapes as well, so yeah. And obviously if I was already had an intolerance to yeast, which is often in wine, then it's obviously not necessarily a good thing for me to be drinking those types of, alcoholic drinks at all anyway. So I had to give myself a gut cleanse for about 12 weeks just by eliminating these things. And I did that really well on the whole. And I found, honestly, that my symptoms just improved incredibly. So it really is worth you doing that if you really feel that there's an issue. But you can try by just eliminating things as well. Just try eliminating certain foods and seeing if they help. So the ones I would definitely start with would be things like sugar, gluten, again, wheat, all those types of things. And dairy, often. And dairy can be a big trigger on skin, and particularly for acne type skins as well, because we can't always digest dairy properly. Our systems aren't really made for that. And also, just as a side effect that they actually have quite high levels of can have higher levels of testosterone in, which we don't really want anyway. And that actually can contribute towards skin problems, certainly in acne, for the fact that it actually makes our sebaceous glands work harder, so it's going to create more oil in the skin. So yeah, they're definitely things that you want to look at. But my favourite is actually just taking a probiotic, and it's just changed my life, just taking a probiotic every day with my breakfast. Now in the clinic, obviously we have very specific probiotics that are great for actually targeting the skin as well, because it's all about the microbiome. This is a new buzzword, isn't it? You know, we all hear about the microbiome. So the microbiome is all about how our gut is and what bacteria are in the gut to actually create a really healthy gut environment. So if you've got that, again, you know, we take medications, as you know, certain foods and things like that can all trigger an unhealthy gut environment. Antibiotics are terrible. So I'm not saying don't ever take them. At certain times you obviously need to take antibiotics, but it will actually, it kills all your good bacteria as well as your unhealthy bacteria. So, which is why if you take antibiotics, then it's really good to take take antibiotics and take a probiotic alongside it. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of advice. As I say, our probiotics in the clinic are mainly targeted towards the skin because that's what we're dealing with. So they've got really, really good levels of different types of bacteria that actually create really good, healthy skin environment. And we find that you get clearer skin, you get a younger looking skin by targeting with these specific supplements. So they're great. So yeah, I just really wanted to come on and share that with you today, and just sort of hopefully kickstart you on your journey towards looking at the gut in regards to creating healthy skin. See you soon.